Number 14. Let me zoom out to read the problem. Focus, please. It says, Andres has 81 dimes and quarters worth $13.50. How many of each of the coins does he have? Write a linear system. So to write our system, check this out. This involves money. What does that remind you of? What word? Cost. Cost. And then what else does it have? It has coins, which are, if we change to other things, it could be items. So this is known as an item and cost system. You guys remember that? All right, so now that we got the systems of equations, here to the side, I'm going to draw a table. 3 lines down, 1, 2, 3, 2 across. Because now we need to come up with 2 equations. The first one is labeled item. The second one is cost. So what items are we talking about? Dimes and quarters. So I'm going to label that one here. Dime, bless you, quarters. And here are total. Okay. Question. Do we know how many dimes we have? Do we know how many dimes? What? We don't, so we label it D. Do we know how many quarters we have? No, so we label it Q. Do we know how many total dimes and quarters? 81. All right. How can we write the cost of a dime? 0.10, but since we don't know how many, we're going to write 0.10 D. Cost of a quarter is 0.25, since we don't know how many quarters is Q. What is the total amount in that Andres has? 1350. Do you guys see your equations now? Yeah, so here where it says write your linear system, you're going to write a bracket. My first equation is D plus Q equals 81. And my second equation is 0.10. I'm going to use a smaller letter D so that I can distinguish from, because here it looks like 100, doesn't it? I'm going to label it like this, D. There it is. Plus 0.25 Q equals to 1350. There's your system. All right, but they want us to solve it now using what? Substitution. I'm going to zoom in for this part. Here it goes. For substitution, one of these two has to be solved for one variable. Oh, let me change this variable really quick. Hold on. I'm going to label this one letter D, but smaller, letter D. There it is. All right. So question. Which equation do you want to solve and which variable? D, okay, so which equation, this one or this one? The first one, so I'm going to write D plus Q equals 81. I need to leave D by itself, so what do? Minus Q. We're left with D equals negative Q plus 81. Is everybody there now? So now watch. I'm going to bring the other equation here. So just to keep it together as a system, my other equation is 0.10D plus 0.25Q equals to 1350. All right, so here's my new system right here. It says solve by substitution. So what do? On the second equation, instead of writing D right here, what am I going to write? Negative Q plus 81. So I'm going to rewrite this equation, 0.10, and in parentheses, I'm going to write negative Q plus 81. I'm going to bring down the plus sign. The 0.25Q equals to 1350. Can focus. Distribute, so we end up with negative 10Q. Get it? 10Q. Minus, what is 0.10 times 81? What is it? Oh, and it's a positive, my bad. It's a positive. 8.1. Is that correct? Are you guys sure before I continue? Oh my goodness. 81 times 0.10. 0, 1, 8. 2 decimal places. Yes, 8.1. Plus 0.25Q equals 1350. Continue. What do I do from there? Very good. Combine like terms. 0.25Q minus 0.10Q, that's 0.15Q plus 8.1 equals to 1350. What do I do from there? Subtract 8.1, subtract 8.1 or 8.10. I'm going to put the 10 so that I did a line there. We're left with 0.15Q equals 5.40. At the end, we divide by 0.15, divide by 0.15. Q equals, look what I'm going to do here. How many decimal places does this one have and this one have? 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. So I got rid of the decimals on both. Let's do the division for that to find out. 540 divided by 15. Do that by yourself. Go. All right. So let's see. 15 fits in there 3 times. That's 45. Subtract, that's 9. Bring down the 0. Fits in there 6 times. 90. Subtract 0. So there are how many quarters? 36. How do we find out how many dimes? Let's see. Let's look at our equations. Which equation would you like to use? This one right here, right? So I'm going to bring this one. I'm going to write dimes equals to negative Q plus 81. But instead of Q, what do I substitute in there? 36. Bring down the negative plus 81 equals D. D equals, what is 81 minus 36? 45. All right? Therefore, Andres has 45 dimes and 36 quarters. 10Q. Piece of cake? Just a little lengthy because of the work involved. But now you guys realize why we've been using which method mostly for solving systems. Which method have we been using? Elimination, because it's easier just to eliminate a variable from the beginning. Okay? Let's go to number 15. It says, write a linear system of equations to solve. It says, a newspaper and 5 hot chocolates cost 17. 3 newspapers and 4 hot chocolates cost 18. How much of each newspaper and each hot chocolate cost? So let's see. I'm going to label the newspaper M. Newspaper. And I'm going to label the letter C for hot chocolate. Now that I have that, check this out. For this one, we don't even need to make a table. We just need to write our equation. Here we go. Let's read it. It says, I'm going to do red first. A newspaper and 5 hot chocolates cost 17. How many newspapers? 1. So I write 1N plus what else? 5 hot chocolates. So what do I write? 5C is equal to how much? 17. Okay, there's my first equation. I want you to write the second equation with the other information. Go. Right underneath that one. And you're going to put your bracket to make it your system. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Okay, equation. Megan, what's your second equation? Three N plus 4C equals 18. Hands, have you got that? That is correct. Now I'm going to zoom in so we can solve this. Look up. What method do you want to use for this one? Elimination. Which variable would you like to eliminate, N or C? N. That means we need to have opposite coefficients. What does this need to be right here? -3, which means we need to multiply this entire equation times what? -3. So we multiply times the first, that's -3N, we write it right underneath, bless you. -15C equals -51. All right, now we eliminate. That's why this method is a little bit faster. This eliminates because there's 0 pairs, yes? -15C plus 4C, that's -11C equals -51 plus 18, that's -33. All right, let's solve for C. Does everybody see what we're doing? Divide by -11, divide by -11. C equals 3. All right. Next, which equation would you like to use? The blue one or the bottom one? Blue. So I use the blue one. I'm going to write 3N plus 4C equals 18. But instead of C, I'm going to substitute in here what number? 3. 3N plus 4 times 3 equals 18. 3N plus 12 equals 18. Minus 12 minus 12. 3N equals 6. Divide by 3. N equals 2. Okay, look at the question. Are we done? Tell your neighbor what's left. That is correct, the statement. Tell your neighbor your statement. What would you write for the statement there? All right, statement. Vanya, go. Hold on. Can't hear you. Very good. Newspaper costs $2 and hot chocolate costs $3. 10 cubes. Show me your fingers. How comfortable you are with these? Yeah, some 5/4, 5/4, 5/4. Okay. Okay, good. Go to number 16. It says a motorboat makes 48 miles upstream trip on the river against the current in 4 hours, and return trip downstream takes 3 hours. Find the motorboat speed in still water and the current speed. All right, so how many lines down? 3, 1, 2, 3, 2 across. And notice here they're talking about speed, so this is a rate and distance problem. What? Yay! Now, by now, you guys should be able to set this up by yourself. We've been working on these all year. Yes. Okay, let's see. What goes on top? Rate times time equals distance. Can focus. And then, let's see. What do we write here? This is tailwind or downstream. Downstream. And then upstream. Okay? Downstream means that it helps you with your speed, right? When you go downhill and you're running, right? So that's why here on the rate it's a plus, and here on the upstream it's a minus. So let's figure out what variables we're going to use. For the motorboat, you want to use B or M or what? B, okay, B. And for the current, we're going to use C. Does everybody see? B plus C, B minus C. All right, so downstream, let's see. Downstream is how many hours? 3, and the total distance is 48 miles. Upstream is 4 hours and the same distance. All right, I'm going to zoom in. So now we can make our equations on the side. First equation, B plus C times 3 equals 48, and B minus C times 4 equals 48. All right, next, I'm going to get rid of the, oh, that was C for curve. Okay. I'm going to get rid of the 3 for this one. So I need, if it's multiplying, I need to divide both sides. That leaves me with B plus C equals 16. Here I'm going to get rid of the 4. So that means we're left with B minus C equals 12. Are we there so far? Yes? Now we can eliminate a variable. Which variable eliminates? The C. However, we need to combine the rest. Look up. This is where some of you make a mistake. What is B plus B? 2B. And 16 plus 12, that's 28. Divide by 2. B equals 14. From there, I want to find out what C is. I'm going to use this one right here. And I'm going to write B plus C equals 16. Then instead of B, it's what? 14 plus C equals 16 minus 14. C equals 2. All right, let's write our statement. Can focus. Oh my goodness. You're done? Yeah? Statement. The motor boat speed is 14 miles per hour, and the current speed is 2 miles per hour, 10 cube. Hands if you got that? Okay, good. Show me your fingers, I'll come through the yard with ease. Thank you. Very good. Yeah, by now you should be 100 fingers. Be nice. All right. Number 17. Oh, let me show you the whole thing and see. Bam. Look at that. Sell out on eBay. Right? 17. All right. Pay attention to this one. It says, find the perimeter and area of the figure. Pay attention to this one, please. Look up. So let's start with perimeter. For the perimeter, right here underneath, you're going to write P equals, and you're going to add all the sides. But before I start adding, I need to label all my sides. So look up. So this little space here, right here, is how much? 6x. That means I need to label this one over here 6x. What does this little space underneath measure? X squared plus 3. That means I need to measure this one, x squared plus 3. What does this one up here measure? X squared plus 7. That means this one down here is what? X squared plus 7. Same thing, if this one is 5x squared plus 2x, then that means I need to label this one 5x squared plus 2x. Focus, please. So now we can add all sides. I'm going to start at the top just to keep organized. I'm going to go from here, and then I'm going to go clockwise. So what is the first one? X squared plus 7. So we write it x squared plus 7. Plus, what's my next one? 5x squared plus 2x. What is the next one? Plus 6x. What is the next one? Plus x squared plus 3. What is the next one? Plus 5x squared plus 2x. What is the next one? Plus x squared plus 7. What is my next one? Plus x squared plus 3. And my last one is plus 6x. Let's combine like terms. Let's see. I'm going to start with boxing the squared. Are there any others? Yes. Here, 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 and here. All right, let's start from left to right. 1x squared plus 5x squared, that's 6. 7, 7 plus 5, 12 plus 1, 14. So we have the perimeter is 14x squared so far. Next, I'm going to circle the x's. Here's 1, here's 2, here's 3, here's 4. Okay, from left to right. What is 2 plus 6? 8 plus 2, 10 plus 6, so it's plus 16x. Now let's underline the constants. We got 7 here, 3 here, 7, and 3. From left to right, 7 plus 3 is 10 plus 10, that's 20. Are we done? No. For the perimeter, we write it in what? Units. Units. Not units squared, that's only for the area. Are we there so far? All right. Now that we have that, I'm going to zoom in so we can do the area. So underneath that, you're going to write area equal. And then over here at the end, just write units squared so that you don't forget that that's in units squared. Okay, I'm going to zoom in. Here it goes. I'm going to start with this one first. Here it goes. What is 6x times x squared? Let me repeat that again. What is 6x times x squared? 6x cubed. Because you have the exponents, all the variables, yes? We're multiplying now. What is 6x times 7? Plus 42x. Okay, so I'm done with that one. I'm going to move over here to the side. Let me zoom out. Here it goes. I'm still on the same row. Now, what is 6x times 5x squared? 30x cubed. What is 6x times 2x? 12x squared. Are we there so far? Okay? All right, so for this part, let's see, do we have enough space? Give me a second. That's going to be a hard one. So for the multiplication of these two, look up, please. Of these two, I'm going to do them over here on the side using distributive properties. There it goes. I'm going to write x squared plus 3, and what is the other one? X squared plus 7. Focus, please. My goodness. There it goes. What is x squared times x squared? X to the 4th. What is x squared times 7? 7x squared. Next, what is 3 times x squared? 3x squared. What is 3 times 7? 21. Can I combine anything? Yes, these right here, right? So we're left with x to the 4th plus 10x squared plus 21, and that goes right here. X to the 4th plus 10x squared plus 21. Are we there so far? Okay. Next, now we need to multiply this times this one. And I'm going to do this one over here on this side. There it goes. Same thing, I'm going to use distributive property. X squared plus 3 times 5x squared plus 2x. Here we go. What is x squared times 5x squared? 5x to the 4th. What is x squared times 2x? 2x to the 3rd. Okay? What is 3 times 5x squared? 15x squared. And what is 3 times 2x? 6x. Do I combine anything? No, and that goes in that box right there. We got 5x to the 4th plus 2x to the 3rd plus 15x squared plus 6x. All right? So, now to write our area, check this out. We're going to combine all of these, but we're going to start with the highest degree. Which is the highest degree? 4. So I'm going to box 4. Is there another x to the 4th? Yes, right here. Be careful with this one. So what is 5 plus 1? So we write over here 6x to the 4th. Next, let's circle the cubes. This one, and this one. So what is 6 plus 30 plus 2? Positive 38x cubed. Let's put a triangle on all the x squares now. Here's 1, here's 2, and here's 3. So what is 15 plus 12? 27 plus 10? 37x squared. How about x's? I'm going to underline x's. We got one here and another one here. So what is 42 plus 6? 48. And do we have any constants? Yeah, right here. 21 And we're done. Let me zoom out. What is it? 48 on the x? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did that on purpose, see if you were paying attention. 48x. My bad. 48x. So let's see. Area equals 6x to the fourth plus 38x cubed plus 37x squared plus 48x plus 21 units squared. Woo! That was a good one, right? All right, let's go to number 18. Look up, please. When it says find the dimensions, when you get to this one, I want you to write factor. Factor. Okay? Now, once you write factor, what is the first thing to check for if you are factoring? GCF. Is there a GCF for these three? No. Therefore, so let's see. What is 3 times 6? 18. And what's the middle term? 11. So what factors of 18 add up to 11? 9 and 2. So I'm going to rewrite this one. 3x squared, but instead of 11, I'm going to write these two. So that becomes 9x plus 2x plus, and then I bring the last term down, which is the plus 6. Let's group these two and these two. What is GCF for these two? 3x, we're left with x plus 3, plus, what is GCF for these two? 2, we're left with x plus 3. So my factors are x plus 3 and 3x plus 2. And then you just write the dimensions are x plus 3 is length and 3x plus 2 is width. 10 cubed. Piece of cake? Okay, let's go to number 19. Man, these are easy. Too easy. There you go, 19. You zoom in. It says factor completely. Once again, when you hear the word factor, tell your neighbor where you should check for. GCF. So first thing we check for is GCF. Tell your neighbor GCF for these two terms. 5x is our GCF. And we're left with, pay attention, x squared minus 4. It says to factor completely. So one thing that you should notice, look up, is that this is not a trinomial, but this should be a red flag as soon as you see the subtraction sign, this squared, and this one, notice the 4 is a perfect square, isn't it? So watch. Square root of this. Square root of this. 2. Is it a difference? Yes, this is called difference of squares. So this is x minus 2, x plus 2, and we bring down the GCF, and we're done. These are my factors. Let's do one more of these. Yes. Number 19Q, copy this one. Let's do 3x cubed minus, oh, I know, 300x. Go. See what you get. Hurry up, hurry up. 20 seconds. All right, let's see. Ready? All right, who got, let's see, GCF was what? 3x, and we got x squared minus 100. Let's see, square root of this, x, square root of this, 10. Is it a difference? Yes, so this is x minus 10, x plus 10, and all that times 3x, and these are my factors. Hands, have you got that? Okay, good. Go to number 20. It says, focus, determine how many real solutions a quadratic equation has. I should say has. So, question, did we ever find out before we started solving equations how many solutions they have? Yes, that's when I asked you to do what? I know, but what did I ask you to do? Predictions, remember that? So how do we predict how many real numbers? So we do b squared minus 4ac. Stop throwing stuff. So let's see. We got a, we got b, and we got c. You substitute values in here. So we got negative 6 squared minus 4 times 3 times negative 2. This is 36. Negative times the negative is a positive. 12 times 2, that's 24. So this is 60. This is a positive number. Therefore, how many real solutions? 2 real solutions. Or 2 roots. You guys remember that? All right. Now that we have that, do we know how to solve these kind of equations? Yes. So therefore, how do we solve that? Set it equal to 0. 0 equals 3x squared minus 6x minus 2. So let's see. What method do you want to start with? Power Ranger, let's see. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6, and this one is negative 6. What two factors of negative 6 add up to negative 6? There is none. Therefore, we need to use the quadratic formula. That is correct. So from here, over here on the side, let's write the quadratic formula on 3. Here we go. X equals minus b plus minus square root b squared minus 4ac over 2a. We need to identify a, b, and c in order to substitute values. So a is 3, b is negative 6, and c is negative 2. So let's substitute values. X equals negative parentheses negative 6 plus minus square root parentheses negative 6 squared minus 4 times 3 times negative 2 over 2 times 3. X equals, negative times the negative is a positive 6 plus minus square root. What is square root of negative 36? Of 6 is 36. Negative, and a negative is a positive 24 over 6. X equals 6 plus minus square root of 36 plus 24, that's 60 over 6. Now check this out. Pay attention, please. At this point, I'm not going to ask you to simplify to decimal form. If you end up with a radical that does not have a perfect squared number, look at it. Can you find me the square root of 60? No. When you end up like that, this is your solution. Will that save you time? Yes, right? Are we doing good? Show me your fingers how comfortable you are with this one. 5 fours, 5 fours, 2.5. Some of you are going to have to go home and watch it again, right? Because some of you are getting distracted. Let's go to number 21. If you want to go home, just go. You don't have to be here. No one has to be here. This is voluntary. Bye. Yeah, I'm serious. If you're just here messing around, just go home. It's not serving any purpose. You're just distracting the person you're talking to. Simple as that. Do that one by yourself. By now you should know how to do this one. I'll give you a head start. Go. All right. You should have been done already with roots, right? So therefore this is 0 equals x squared minus 6x plus 8. Power Rangers, 8, negative 6. That means it's negative 4 and negative 2. Is that correct? So therefore 0 equals x squared minus 4x minus 2x plus 8. Group. GCF for these two is x. We're left with x minus 4. GCF for these two is negative 2, and we're left with x minus 4. Therefore, I'm going to continue over here. I got 0 equals x minus 4 times x minus 2. At that point, we do what? ZTP. So therefore, x minus 4 equal to 0. X minus 2 equal to 0, and solve. Plus 4 plus 4, x equals 4, plus 2 plus 2, x equals 2. And those are my what? Roots. Okay. Let's find the vertex. For the vertex, we need an x value and a y value. I'm going to start with my x value. The x value, I find it by writing negative b over 2a. So therefore, negative, what is b here? Negative 6. Negative 6 over 2 times, what is a here? 1, because there's no number here in the coefficient. So this is 6 over 2, which is 3. That goes right there. Therefore, to find my y, I need to use the equation. So I write y equals, instead of x, what value am I going to use? 3. So it's 3 squared minus 6 times 3 plus 8. Y equals 9 minus 18 plus 8. Y equals, let's see, what is, we'll combine like terms. 9 plus 8, that's 17 minus 18. So y is equal to negative 1. They want us to mention if it's a maximum or a minimum. Well, let's see. Look at the equation. Is this a happy face or a sad face? Happy face. So that means it's the lowest point. So this is the minimum. Okay? Let's graph that. I'm going to zoom out. My x-intercepts are 4 and 2. 4, 2. What is my y-intercept, everyone? 8, positive 8. What is my vertex? 3, negative 1. 3, negative 1 is right here. All right, and they want one more point. Look up, please. All right, so here's my invisible line of symmetry. Which point is by itself? The y-intercept. How many steps is it away from my vertex, from my line of symmetry? 3, 1, 2, 3. So that means there needs to be a point 3 steps this way. So I go 1, 2, 3. There's my point. What are the coordinates for that point? Tell your neighbor, please. 6, 8. And then you draw your parabola. And we're done. So my listeners, how comfortable you are with these? 5. Very good. 5, 5, 5, 4s. 5s and 4s. Okay? Yeah, we've been practicing with this already for a while. This should be automatic. You should be at home and they're waking you up. Wake up. You're like, oh, the vertex. All right. Number 22. Let's solve by completing the square. Focus, please. I'm going to zoom in. Now this one, they already started for us. If you guys notice, we're making the constant. Aren't we making the constant? So at this point, check this out. I'm going to rewrite it underneath so you guys can see what I'm talking about. X squared minus 6x blank equals 4. Do you remember now? Yes. So from there, we're going to add b over 2 squared to each side. So what is b? So we write negative 6 over 2 squared to each side. Negative 6 over 2 squared. So then we bring this down. X squared minus 6x. What is negative 6 divided by 2? Negative 3. What is negative 3 squared? 9 equals 2. 4 plus 9. Let's simplify the right side. What is 4 plus 9? 13. Bring this down. X squared minus 6x plus 9. All right, what's our next step from there? Factor. We're going to use the shortcut, right? Square root of the first. X. Square root of the last. 3. What's the sign of the middle? Minus, and this is squared equals to 13. What do you do from there? Square root, we're left with x minus 3 equals, is this a perfect square? No, so we leave it as plus minus square root of 13. Am I going to ask to write the decimal form? No. For this final, to save time, we can leave it as such. However, are we done? Are we done solving for x? No. What do we do from there? Plus 3 on both sides. So my solutions for this equation is x equals 3 plus minus square root of 13. Solution. Is it coming back? Yes? Okay. Okay, sorry. The battery's going low. Yes. What's that? Another one? Yeah, sure, let's do another one. Yay! On the side, I want you to write example 22Q. Yeah, you can do it on the scratch paper if you want. Here we go. Write this down. X squared minus, give me a number, minus 10x equals, no, give me a number. Too late, 7. Finish that one. I'll pause this, give you some time so I can change the battery level. It's getting too much interference. Okay, finish that, go. Here goes the process. X squared minus 10x plus negative 10 over 2 squared, and that is equal to 7 plus negative 10 over 2 squared. Therefore, x squared minus 10x plus 25 equals 7 plus 25. And we got it right there. Okay, good. Let's simplify. This is 32 equals to x squared minus 10x plus 25. Shortcut for factoring, square root of the first, square root of the last, middle, sign, squared equals 32. From there, everyone? Square root, x minus 5 equals square root of 32. Then we do, plus minus. And we do plus 5, solution, x equals 5 plus minus square root of 32. Hands if you got that. Okay, good. So to the next one, number 23. All right, let's see. It says, create any quadratic equation that represents the situation. It says, an object is launched 48 feet per second from 60-foot tall platform. So, who can give me the equation? Maisha, go. Very good. Y equals negative 16t squared plus 48t plus 64. Hands if you got up to right there. That is correct. Next, it says, what is the maximum height? Before we do the maximum height, look up please. What does that mean, maximum? Does everybody understand what a maximum is? Tell your neighbor the other word that we use for a maximum. Very good. Yes, the vertex. Very good. Label that, vertex. How do we find the x value? X equals minus b over 2a. What is b? 48. What is a? Negative 16. Negative 48 over negative 32. Can we simplify this? Sorry. Something's wrong with this. Can we simplify that, guys? Yes, this is a positive. How many times does this fit in there? Once. And we have how many left over? 16 32nds, which is 1/2. So therefore this is 1.5. Now how do we find the y value? This is you guys remember that? Yeah. So I write y equals negative 16 times 1. I'm going to use decimals this time, squared, plus 48 times 1.5 plus 64. So this is y equals negative, what is 1.5 times 1.5? (16 times 2.25). Focus. (48 plus 1.5), times 1.5, that's 72, plus 64. We multiply this. Y equals negative, what is 16 times 2.25? Very good. Negative 36. Double check to make sure. Got a calculator? Oh, no calculators, my bad. What are those? So, plus, what is 72 plus 64? Very good. 136. So, y is equal to 100, and that goes right here. So, tell your neighbor, according to the vertex, what's the maximum height? Everyone? 100 feet high. All right. Do we know what to do to find how much it takes to strike the ground? Yes. Take the equation, y equals negative 16t squared plus 48t plus 64. Change that equal to 0. And find GCF. What's GCF? Negative 16. We're left with t squared minus 3t minus 4. Do we know what to do from there? Power Rangers, negative 4, negative 3. Factors of negative 4 that add up to negative 3. 1 and negative 4. So t squared plus 1t minus 4t minus 4. Let's group these two, t plus 1, negative 4, t plus 1. So we end up with t plus 1 times t minus 4 times negative 16 equal to 0. Okay, guys, I can't concentrate over here as people are making noise. Please stay focused. We're almost done. Like I said, if you don't want to be here, just go. Call your parents. Bye. So, next step, Z, P, T. That means we set up equal to 0, all of them. T plus 1 equal to 0. And T minus 4 equal to 0. This cancels because it's not true, so minus 1, t equals negative 1, plus 4, t equals 4. Tell your neighbor the part C, what's the solution for part C? It takes 4 seconds to hit or to strike the ground. All right. Next, when will the object reach a height of 32 feet? Well, let's see. What was the velocity, everyone? Look at your equation. What is the velocity? 48 feet per second, so 48t. So that has to equal to what? 32. And let's find out how long will it take to reach that height. Divide by 48. T is equal to, can we simplify that? Yes. 2/3. Because if we simplify by 16, so what does that mean? Tell your neighbor, please. What does that mean? Orion? Very good. Orion says it takes 0.66 seconds to reach 32 feet. 10 cubed. Okay, let's go to number 24. Focus. Here it goes. First things first, draw a triangle, right triangle. Says, one leg of a right triangle is one more than the other leg. The hypotenuse is 9 units more. So we know that the hypotenuse is right across from the right angle. This is the hypotenuse. One leg One leg is one more unit than the other leg. So, do we know what the first leg is? So therefore, what can we label it? X. So if the other one is 1 unit more than the other, what can we label the other? X plus 1. Then it says the hypotenuse is 9 units more than the short leg. The short leg is X, so what is the hypotenuse? X plus 9. It says find the lengths of all 3 sides of the triangle. All 3 sides, not just X. So then we use A squared plus B squared equals C squared. What is A? X, so we write X squared plus, what is B? X plus 1 squared equals, what is C? X plus 9 squared. So far so good? Let me zoom in. All right. So let's see. X squared. Do we know how to multiply this one to get what this is? If you don't see it, here it goes. X plus 1 times X plus 1. Therefore, what is this one? X plus 9 times X plus 9. Therefore, X squared plus, this should be X squared plus 2X plus 1. Once you do the distributive property, I'm just shortening the time because we're running out of time. So you distribute X times X, X times 1, 1 times X, 1 times 1, simplify, that's what we get. Yes? And for those of you that saw the shortcut on these, remember the shortcut? I'm using the shortcut. So therefore this is X squared plus 18X plus 81. Are we there so far? Okay, now we need to get all the expressions to one side so we can make it equal to 0 to solve, right? So I'm going to get all of these over to this side. Okay? So before that, I'm going to combine these. This is 2x squared plus 2x plus 1 equals x squared plus 18x plus 81. Some of you are just like in the days and you're falling behind. So here I'm going to subtract all these, minus x squared minus 18x minus 81 from both sides, minus x squared minus 18x minus 81. These cancel. We're left with equal to 0. What do we have left here? X squared minus 16x minus 80. Do we know what to do from there? Yes, Power Rangers. Negative 80 and negative 16. What factors of negative 80 give us negative 16? Negative 20 and 4, that is correct. X squared minus 20x plus 4x minus 80 equal to 0. Therefore, group, GCF here is x, x minus 20. GCF here is 4, and we're left with x minus 20. All that equal to 0. X minus 20 times x plus 4, all that equal to 0. Therefore, ZPP, x minus 20 equal to 0, x plus 4 equal to 0. I'm going to solve. Plus 20, x, x equals 20, minus 4, x equals negative 4. Question, can we use a negative one? No, because it's distance. Yeah. No. All right, so if x is 20, they want all 3 sides. Let's see. What does this side measure? 20. How about this one? 21. How about this one? 29. So then we write the short leg is 20 units. The other is 21 units. And the hypotenuse is 29 units. 10 cubed. Let me zoom out. Look at that, beautiful. Yeah, let's go to your favorite, number 25. Woo! Woo! Okay, here we go. It says, this should be easy. Look up. Match each equation to its graph. Look at this one, the quadratic equation. Look at the graph. Which one is the quadratic equation? Which of those is the quadratic equation? C. That is correct. Does everybody see it here? Next, it says y equals negative x minus 11. It has a negative slope. That means it's a line going down. Which line is going down? A. So we're done with those two. Now we need to find 3 remaining equations. Let's see, which ones are we missing? So we got A, we got C, we're missing B, D, and E. Let's start with the easy ones. What is D? Y equals 0. That is correct. It's a line going straight through 0. What is the equation for E? Negative 7. That is correct. So the only one we need to worry about right now is B. That means we need a y-intercept. What's my y-intercept? So we got y equals blank x, and then we got plus 1. That's my y-intercept. Now I need to use another point. I'm going to use this point right here. What's the slope? 1 up, 1 to the right. Therefore, it's 1. Next, write a system of linear equations and solve it. Which one do you want to use? Y equals 0 and y equals, okay, if you use those two, what is the solution? No solution, and y, and okay, so I'm going to use this one right here, not to confuse people. Y equals 1x plus 1. All right. So if I was to substitute in here, use substitution, instead of y, what do I write? So it's 0 equals 1x plus 1 minus 1 minus 1. Negative 1 equals x. So we're done with x. We just need to solve for y. What is y? What is y? Solution. The explanation of the process is your work. I just want to see your work. Let's go to the next one. Now, I showed work here. However, look at these two equations. It's this one and this one. What is the solution over here? Oh, my bad, not this one. It's this one and this one. What is the solution? Negative 1, 0. You guys see it here? Okay, good. So to the last one, write a system using the quadratic equation. Let's write it. Y equals x squared minus 6x minus 7. And what other equation do you want to use out of those 4? Y equals 0. Who can give me the solutions? Let's see. What are the solutions where both intersect? Is that correct? Here's the quadratic equation. Here's this one. Where do they intersect? They intersect here and here. Who can give me the solutions, please? What is it? negative 1, 0, and 7, 0. That is correct. Got it? Those you can use just a graph to answer the question. Yeah? Yes. The process, you just need to say, I use graphing for my solution. Go to number 26. Here we go. Let's fill this in. Look up. If this is 50, what goes here? 20. All right? So if this is 30, and we got 12 and 8, that's 20, so what is this? 10. What goes here in this total? 17. How about here? And here? 18. Now we need to find a relative frequency table. So how many lines down? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Whoa. Sorry. One, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. So this is female, male, total. Dance, sports, movies, total. All right. So what is this one? 12 over 50, which is 0.6. Yeah? Is it 0.6? Is it 0.6? No, it's not. Come on, guys. Point 24. This one, 8 over 50, which is 0.16. This one, 10 over 50, which is 0.20. So let's see, what is 24 plus 16? 40 plus 20, that's 0.60. This is 0.40, and this is 1. So let's see, 5 over 50, that's 0.10. So the total should be 0.34. This one, 7 over 50, which is 0.14, which is 0.30. This one, 8 over 50, which is 0.16. The total is 36. Let's see, 34 plus 36 plus 30, 100. There it is, yes. All right. Did everybody know how to fill this in by now? Yes, they have to be divided by the whole total. Let's see. Percent of teachers enjoying watching movies. Movies total, how much percent? 36%. What percent of teachers who pick sports are female? Female sports, 16, so that's 16%. What percent of females choose dance? 24%. And what percent of all teachers surveyed were males? 40%. And the last one. Let's go. Here we go. Refer to the box and whisker graph below it. Let me put this on. Refer to the box and whisker below to answer the questions. Let's see. What percent of books cost $90 or more at the bookstore A? So check this out. This is how we know. Look up. Didn't we divide this into quadrants? This one was Q1, Q2, Q3, which means it gives us, look, from here to here, that's 25%. From here to here, that's another 25%. From here to here, that's 25%. And from here to here, that's another 25%. So the question is, what percent of books cost $90 or more? So let's see, where's $90? Right here for bookstore A, so it's about right here. $90 or more, what is the percentage? 50%. That is correct. 50%. What is the range prices of the upper 50% of store B? So store B, here's 50% is from here and up. What are the price ranges? Tell your neighbors the price ranges for bookstore B, from there to there. How much? How much? Let's do $87 all the way up to how much? $110. Next, would you expect the mean prices of bookstore B to be higher or lower or the same, the mean price of bookstore A? So let's see. Look at this. What would be the mean? Mean would be the average, right? Okay. So look at it. Which one would have a higher or lower average? How can we tell? Can we just take Q1 and Q2 and find the range to see kind of like where we're at? So what is Q1 for this one, Q1 and Q3? What is Q1 here? 75. And what is Q3? 100. So therefore, the IQR is what? Very good, 25. So then let's find the IQR for this one. What is Q1? 70. And what is Q3? 100. So the IQR is what? 30. So which one is higher? Bookstore A, because you found the IQR to be higher, and that's around the mean for both. You able to see that? How do you find the IQR? Once again, Q3 minus Q1 of each of those, and compare it. Next, what percent of prices of bookstore A are at least $110? Let's see. Bookstore A. Tell your neighbor what percent are $110. Look at your graph. What percent are $110? Let's see. Arlene, what's the percentage? That is correct, 0%. No books are $110 on bookstore A. Does everybody see bookstore A? What's the highest price for bookstore A? No, 105. Bookstore A. Oh my goodness. And the last one, is it more common for prices to be higher bookstore A than bookstore B? Explain your reason. Let's see. Look at it. Which one has the higher prices? Bookstore B. How can you tell? Because we have a lot of them in here and in here. Notice this, it's a lot of books here. And here, not that many. Their prices are below $90. You guys see that? So all you have to do is explain your process on the last one. Okay? I'll stop right there. Okay? And I'm going to post this as soon as we're done here. Oh, reminder. Monday, we're going to revisit some of these. Tuesday, the same thing. And then Wednesday, we start our final. Okay? Yay. Enjoy your study day. You're studying for the final. See you guys later. Bye.